Hi guys, and welcome to another Wargame Red Dragon video with me, Bubblebox, and today we're having a look at the new DLC. Now some people don't even know a new DLC has come out, but you did have an update on your game if you've got the game, or if you've got the game in the sale, because there's a sale on at the moment, you would have had the DLC included in it as well. It's another second free DLC. There's a bit of confusion about it because they've actually released it going to release it in two parts, and this was the first part of the second DLC. If you see what I mean. And this first part has got included in it a unit, at least one unit for each of a new unit for each of the nations apart from the Scandinavian nations, who will be getting their big update in the second part of the second DLC. Also in the first part of the second DLC is the Wargame Red Dragon the new campaign, the Second Korean War, of which I've started a series, so please check that out if you fancy supporting the channel. And also a lot of balancing of units, and I'll put a link in the description below this video where you can have a look at the forums for the whole list of what's been going on in the first part of the second free DLC. So in this video we're going to have a look at the new units that are available, and this guy is the first one we're going to have a look at. It is absolutely amazing. It's the Patriot with the Patriot missiles, radar guided, so be aware of that when you've got seed flying around. But look at the range on this thing, 5,600 meters. It's the longest radar or the longest anti-air unit in the game, and it's got an accuracy of 70%. It's going to shoot down any plane that it comes across with a massive range as well, and an HE power of 9 as well. So you know, you stick a couple of these together, they're just going to take down a plane immediately. Strength of 10 as well, so it can take a little bit of damage, although it's not armoured. Autonomy is very good as well at 850 for an AAP, so it can get across the board. It's not even, I don't think, is it? No, it's not a prototype either, so you can actually get this as well as in the USA deck. You'll be able to get this in the Blue 4 deck as well. It's not too shabby on the road, speed wise, nor across land either. So awesome piece. Costs 120, which is a lot, so you're going to want to keep it safe. It's only got 4 missiles, so you're going to need a resupply truck relatively close to it as well to get the most out of this guy. But yeah, what an awesome anti-air piece they've introduced into the game there. Next, we'll have a look at the Warrior Milan for the Brits, so this will be under the Vehicles tab. The Warrior Milan here, basically it's a warrior as it was before, and it's got a Milan F2 stuck on top of it, as you can see above its turret. 4 missiles, accuracy is kind of okay. AP power is very high though, so if it does land a shot it's probably going to destroy whatever it's shooting at, but it might need to get 2 or 3 missiles off first before you get a hit. It's got decent armour as well for an infantry fighting vehicle. It's got 6 front, 5 side, 2 back, 2 top. Autonomy is a bit poor, so if you're going all the way across the map you might need a little bit of a refill. Speed's not too shabby, and a strength of 10, so a nice kind of addition to the UK's infantry fighting vehicles there. And I think they carry Fusiliers. I'm not sure if they carry any of the other type of infantry, but they certainly carry the Fusiliers around on the map for you. Insofar as the French are concerned, the French have got a new support, and it's the VPM 120 mortar. The French had a couple of mortars already, but they're quite short range. Now they've got a decent long range mortar with a range of 7,700, decent-ish amount of ammo, 54 rounds, and a little Browning machine gun, a little bit of armour, not too much. Good autonomy, so it can get around and about on the map, and it's fast off-road, so it can get out of trouble once it's fired its weapon. And it's amphibious as well, so another bonus. It does cost 50, so it's quite expensive for a mortar piece, but definitely worth the extra 20 points for that extra range, I would think. Next we've got the West Germans, who've got a new infantry fighting vehicle, the Marder 2. If I can find that, we'll have a look under the Vehicles tab actually. There it is, the Marder 2 for only, this is only 30 points. Now I say only 30 points because the main thing about this, it's got a really nice weapon and it's got really nice armour as well, and it can be used to bring in certain types of infantry. I think Panzer Grenadiers and one other type of infantry. You'll have to check the infantry tab to see which infantry you can put in this thing. But the weapon's really quite nice actually. It's not got a massive range, but a good range certainly for an autocannon, and can shoot at helicopters as well with an accuracy of 70%, and it's got a really nice stabilizer, AP power 6. It's going to wreck infantry and lightly armed vehicles, this thing, and got some suppression as well. But the armour on it, you know, 10, 5, 4, 2, you don't get many infantry fighting vehicles with armour similar, with armour of that calibre. It is a prototype, so you can only get it with the West Germans and the Eurocorps decks. Next we'll move on to the Canadians. Now the Canadians have got a, I believe, a surface-to-air missile, so that'll be under support. The Wolverine, here it is. A nice little addition. It's fairly cheap, fires Javelin LML missiles. It's got 12 of them, so it's got a fair amount of ammo, can certainly shoot down helicopters, and can have a pot shot at aeroplanes with a decent-ish kind of accuracy for one of these types of weapon as well. HE power of 5. Got a little bit of armour, good speed off-road. Autonomy is a little bit poor, but yeah, for 35 points, it's not a bad little weapon there. Moving on to the Anzacs. Anzacs, where are you? Of course, there's no Denmark, there's no Sweden, and there's no Norway units. They're all going to be coming in the second part of the DLC. But the Anzacs have got a new weapon, I believe, the M113 Milan. Where is it? I'm sure they did. Anzacs, yes, we've got the Anzacs up. Let's have a look under the infantry. Oh, I'm still under support, that's why. So here are the vehicles. M113 Milan. M113 Milan, where are you? M113 Milan, there it is. So it's a little sort of armoured car with a Milan attached to it, a little bit like the British one we saw earlier. It's only in a Milan F1, it only costs 25 points. And yeah, it's sort of, well, cheap and cheerful, I guess. It's not too brilliant, but it, you know, it's got 12. Let's put that is in its favour. It's got 12 missiles. The accuracy is only 35, so you're going to need 12 missiles. It's got a decent AP power. There's something to carry your infantry around in if you want a little bit of extra AP power on the way to your battle. It is amphibious. It is a prototype as well. Just remember that. The Canadian Wolverine was also a prototype, as was the Marder 2. The French mortar carrier was also a prototype. The Warrior Milan wasn't, nor was a Patriot missile. So next, got the Japanese next. Yes, the Japanese next. The Japanese have got an APC, so should be able to find it in here. The Kaiyu Roku WAPC. Here it is. Again, another sort of infantry carrying vehicle. Nothing too special. It has got a nice little grenade launcher. Costs 15 points, which is fairly high for, I suppose, for an infantry carrying vehicle. But this, if you want to attack infantry with a squad of good infantry in here, and this thing as well, which can shoot frag grenades at infantry and suppress them and kill infantry as well, can shoot a little bit at helicopters, good off-road speed, and decent autonomy and a strength of 10. So that's that one for the Japanese. And then we've got the South Koreans, who have got a new artillery piece, I believe, called the KA Thunder. Where is it? There it is. The K9 Thunder, excuse me, not the KA Thunder. The K9 Thunder, sort of a long-range artillery piece with a fairly tight dispersion. HE power 7, not too bad. Decent rate of fire and a lot of ammo, 105 rounds, which always means a lot, so you're not sucking on yours or someone else's fob while you're firing this thing. Yeah, so just a decent all-round long-range artillery piece. It's quite expensive, but it looks to be quite a decent artillery piece for the Japanese, and it is a prototype as well. On to the Chinese. The East Germans haven't got any new units because they had a big update in the first DLC, remember, so they're not going to have any new units. But the Russia, first of all, let's do the Russians first, let's do them in order. The Russians have got a new Spetsnaz squad, and if I can find it, I think it's actually a recon squad. The the Spetsnaz Gruz here. They are actually a 10-man squad, so they're pretty awesome. They've got a basic AKS main weapon, but they've got this Dragonos SVD as a secondary kind of weapon with a range of 1050 against land units, so that's a long range, 50 rounds, and an accuracy of 95%. But this time there's 10 of these guys, and these can roam around the map, have a multitude of roles, I guess. They're not a prototype, so can be bought in the Red 4 deck as well, and are very fast at 30 Ks as well on the ground. So a nice addition to the Russian recon infantry there, and they can be brought in with a variety of choppers and APCs as well. Then we've got the Polish. Now I don't think the Polish, I couldn't see or find the Polish had a new unit, so I don't think the Polish got any new units, nor the Czechs. Oh no, the Czechs and the Polish haven't, because they got them in the last DLC. The Chinese have got an extra unit, a plane. Go to the air, it's the JH7, if I can just find that. JH7, here it is. The JH7, it's a bomber. It's got a 1,000-kilogram bomb. So as you know, they are pretty damn powerful, but this has also got some protection as well. It's got a fire and forget missile with a range of 3,850 and with a 50% accuracy, and a little gun to go with it as well. Speed's 1,000, which is good. And turn radius is terrible at 500, but remember this is going to be primarily used as a bomber, so it's going to go in straight and then evac anyway. It's not a prototype, so you can get this out in the Red 4 deck as well as in the Chinese and the Chinese Coalition deck, or the Red Dragon deck. The only thing it hasn't got is ECM, no ECM, so it's going to be an easy target, and I think that's why it's cheap. With the 1,000-kilogram bomb, it's not that expensive, but it's got no ECM, so it's going to be easily shot down. So you're not going to be wanting to fly this over anywhere where you think there might even be any AA at all. So finally, we've got the North Koreans. Now, the North Koreans have actually got two additions to their deck. They've got a new Spag, if I can find it. I think it's this one, the M1992 Spag. Pretty standard kind of anti-air weapon with sort of twin auto cannons with a decent range against helicopters, and you can certainly stun your airplanes as they fly over as well. Fast firing, of course, of the twin auto cannons. It is radar guided, so just watch out for that. Strength of 10, not too good off-road, not too good autonomy. It is a prototype, so you can only get this in the specified decks where the North Koreans are specified. And also, however, although this isn't too amazing, they do have an amazing weapon, and this is probably the best one I've left till last, or the most awesome looking that I've left till last. It's a plane, and it's the H5, if I can find it. FG H5, here it is. The H5 looks a bit wacky, a bit weird, but check out the payload. A 3,000-kilogram bomb. That's right, a 3,000-kilogram bomb. That's 3 times as powerful as any weapon or any bomb yet seen in Wargame Red Dragon. So I can't wait to see the destructive power of this weapon in game. Also, it's got a strength of 15, which is really unusual for an airplane. Normally they have a strength of 5, but this has got a strength of 15, no armor, no ECM. It's going to be fairly easily shot down, although it will take a couple of missile hits because it's got a strength of 15. Speed isn't high either. You've got to look after this guy, but if you can manage to get one of these guys dropped on a bunch of units, it's going to absolutely destroy them. It's just getting that opportunity and then using it. I think that's going to be the thing to be able to do. Also, it's not a prototype, so you can even bring this in the Red 4 decks as well. So pretty amazing weapon there for the North Koreans. Now, a few other things in the update worth mentioning, I guess, are that the British Harriers are now available in Marine decks, so you can bring them in and help you with air support with your, perhaps with your Blue 4 Marine decks. Tank aiming time has been tweaked so that infantry get the first shot off when they're in woods or forests against tanks. making infantry more effective in forests and woods against tanks, basically, because before the tanks were getting the shots off first, now the infantry will get the shots off first. So beware when taking tanks into woods against the infantry from now on. Also, we'll have a quick look at the US Nighthawk, because that's been altered a little bit as well. Now, the US Nighthawk, if I can find it, was always an amazing aircraft. I absolutely loved it. You can only get it as a prototype when you have a USA deck, but now instead of having one of these Paveway 3 missiles, it's now got 2 of these Paveway 3 missiles, making it twice as powerful as it was before. So it's going to be even more awesome to use that weapon. There's also a lot of balancing done, and I'll put a link in the description below this video to the forum page if you want to check out all the changes they made in this first part of the second DLC. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. Please do comment, like and subscribe, and goodbye.